Hare Krishna. To beat problems, first beat the mind down to size. Sometimes when we face a lot of problems in our life, or sometimes when we face a big problem in our life, at that time, one of the first reactions or one of the visceral reactions is to think that, oh, I need a lot of time to deal with this. How will I deal with this? And often we feel that we may need to take time away from our spiritual practices so that we can have adequate time to deal with these problems. And yes, sometimes when there are emergency situations, we may need to give adequate time. But the important thing is that we need to recognize that solving problems requires not just time, it also requires clarity of thought. It also requires good intelligence. Otherwise, we spend a lot of time, and often during that time we simply we make mistakes, they do missteps, and we make things worse rather than better. So, and usually when we have a problem, the problem is this big, but the mind makes the problem much bigger. And the mind says, oh, this is such a big problem, this is such a big problem, this is such a big problem, this is such a big problem. And when the mind is saying that this is a big problem, that mantra-like repetition by the mind that this is a big problem, that becomes a bigger problem than the problem. So that discourages us, that demoralizes us, that distracts us, and then it takes away our capacity to deal with the problem. So therefore, and this happens quite often when we are faced with a big problem, the mind becomes a bigger problem than the big problem. So what we need to do is beat the mind down to size. That means silence the mind. And for this, our inner life, our meditation is vital. When we meditate on Krishna, when we connect with Krishna with seriousness, with determination, with gravity, then that enables us to actually be able to overcome the problems in a more effective way externally. That means that the external problem is there and we need to deal with it. But prashanta manasam hyenam yoginam sukham uttamam upaiti shant rajasam brahma bhutam kalmasham. So prashanta manasam hyenam, Krishna says, by a regular yoga practice the mind becomes peaceful. And yoginam sukham uttamam, the yogi experiences sukham uttamam, inner happiness, highest happiness. Upaiti shant rajasam, the agitation in the mind that makes the problem a bigger problem than it needs to be. That passion, that agitation, that subsides. Upaiti shant rajasam brahma bhutam kalmasham. With the contaminations are gone, akalmasham brahma bhutam. Then we understand, I am a soul. I am different from the mind and I am different from the problem. I am indestructible. Krishna always loves me and cares for me. And with this knowledge, let me move forwards and see what I can do best in my life. So, how I can deal with the problem. So, this sort of clarity and maturity that comes through meditation is the most effective foundation for dealing with problems, for, as I say, beating problems. If we use a war metaphor, either the problem is going to beat us or we are going to beat the problem back. So to beat the problem, we need to first beat down the mind to size. Don't let the mind make the problem bigger than what it needs to be. And that beating down the mind to size is best done through meditation on the Supreme Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.